Hi everybody and welcome to the July Q&A video here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I'm Andrew Rhodes, and yes, the background's different again. Same area as last month, different part of it. I am still working on trying to perfect this somewhat. Anyway, I digress. I have 10 questions for this month. Small, simple month, I guess. If one of your questions was not asked or answered on this one, I do apologize. I have been scouring the comments, making sure that I got all the questions. I didn't have any that were left that I didn't copy over, but if I did miss one, because I am human, I do make mistakes, I'm not perfect, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will add it in for the next one, because I'm not sure if I want to do one for August, but if I do, I'll add it in for that, I promise. So please keep that in mind in case I missed your question. I am human, I do make mistakes, and I have had one hell of a month. If I did miss a question, please let me know, and I will include it in for next month, or the next Q&A. So without any further ado, let's dive into this one. First question we have on here is, are you aware of the fact that the Summer Olympics are going to be streamed for the first time? Yes and no, it's actually kind of not the first time. The last couple years, at least for the last couple Olympic Games, they were streamable online. You could actually pull them up. Like YouTube would have some events up. Some of the streaming services that were carrying the event, like CBS, NBC, ones like that, their websites would have some of the events. Not all of them, but some of them. So yes, I'm aware it's being streamed, but kind of know it's not the first time. This has been something that's been going on for a while. I remember, I think it was 2012. I remember the Olympic Games. It was the Summer Olympics 2012. They actually had some events you could watch online, some of them that you were watching on TV. The next year, it was the same deal. And I think it's been that way for both the Summer and the Winter Games. But it's been like that for a while, so it's not exactly oh my god, it's a huge big deal. It's been like that for a while. So yes, I'm aware of it, but no, I kind of don't think it's the first time they've ever been in streamed, so take that as you will. But yes and no. Have you ever seen a really weird TV show pilot that ended up being the weirdest TV show ever? Not really, no. Most of the TV pilots that I see are usually the ones that everybody sees, that basically got, here's the show, it's episode 1. If you want to go by one of the weirdest shows that I've ever seen, I wouldn't even know where to start. I've seen some weird shows, but then they kind of grew on me, or some shows that I thought were really good to start off with then got real stupid and weird, so can't really answer that one specifically, because in all honesty, most of the pilots that I've seen were just one-off episodes that were either put up as a special and you didn't realize that it was the pilot, or it was literally just the first episode and we didn't know the series was already greenlit, so I never got to see the actual pilot episode. That's just the greenlit one. So yeah, I really can't answer that with a solid, yeah, here it is, because honestly, I don't know of any. And if I do, they're just not coming to me. And you could say it's because it's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning, but in all honesty, it's just, I got nothing, so sorry. Let's see here. If you can make a TV show pilot, then what would you do to make it a lot better than SpongeBob, Cousin Skeeter, the 2016 reboot of Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans Go, and of course the pilot of the newest version of Powerpuff Girls? Oh yeah, I know where that question came from, because I did the rant video on the Powerpuff Girls reboot, because the live action one was being reworked, and for goddamn good reasons. If I could come up with a pilot, it would basically be, what would I want my TV show to be? An action-adventure series, a drama series, slice of life, and it just goes down that same pathway. Because you can't really pick a soap opera, because those things are generic. you know the plot of it. That's pure drama, nothing else. And it's really chintzy drama because you can easily use one of the 18 MacGuffins that exist for the fucking soap operas of, oh, it was only a dream, and write everything away, or, oh, well, they were in a coma, write everything away. And it's, I mean, they've made jokes about this back in like the 80s and the 90s. There's a movie that John Candy starred in called Delirious, where he was a soap opera writer, and one of the things was that they're going to put so and so in a coma. It's like, oh, you're killing her off the show. And they're like, well, yeah, we have to. And then he's doing his damnedest to go, no, no, you can't kill her off the show because he thinks he has a chance with her and he doesn't. So, yeah, I would go with that. But if I had to come up with a TV pilot, I would honestly have to sit down and really think about it. It's not exactly a, oh, okay, here, let me, gung-ho on this and just go, okay, let's throw this, and this into this, because you'd have to come up with a character that's really good and entertaining. You'd have to come up with a unique premise for it, what you want the characters to do, what you want the setting to be, the plot surrounding it. There's a lot to take into consideration when you make a TV pilot. It's sort of like writing a story or basically coming up with anything. You need to have the plot, the setting, the characters, and they need to all flow together. It needs to be like a perfect stream of water. Each pool of water that's building up to this massive stream has to flow in the right order. You can't just go, okay, here's the plot, and here are the characters, but now here's the setting. And, it's like, you gotta go like setting, then plot, then characters, then, what the characters are like, then that takes you down to the stream. There's other ways to do it, but that's the way that I've always figured it to be done. But in regards to this, though, personally, for me, I would honestly, like I said, I'd have to sit down and really think about it, because I don't exactly know of a decent show that I could have, because I had to make sure I'm not copying off somebody else either. So I'd have to really, like I said, sit down and think about it, because I don't want to copy off somebody. I don't want to take, okay, here's 18 different tropes that have already been used to death, and go that route. But if I'd have to make one that's better than Cousin Skeeter, what would I do to make it better? Well, yeah, that's what I would do. You'd have to sit down and think about it. I mean, you'd have to make sure that it's not going to be, if you want to have the characters be one's a puppet, one's a human, okay, that's fine. It's not exactly something that's been done to death, because it's only been done 3 times. You've had Cousin Skeeter, Crash and Bernstein, and of course the Muppets. But I guess you could throw Sesame Street in there too. But then again, Sesame Street was for kids, so I'm not exactly counting that. Jim Henson, forgive me for saying it, but it's true, unfortunately. So for that, you would have to, like I said, sit down and think about it. But yeah, to make it better than all of that, you'd have to really think about the plot, the setting would have to be really contrite to what you want it to be. You'd have to make sure that the characters fit both the plot and the setting. You can't have, let's say, okay, I'm gonna do a futuristic story set in the year 30XX, and here I have an old man that's been alive for 2,000 years. That doesn't work very well, because you're going to have him be the central character, but then at the same time you want to make sure that the audience isn't going to be okay, why am I listening to this show? Because it's not exactly a unique concept. If you have, that would almost be something akin to Flint the Time Detective, where Flint was this Stone Age person that unfortunately ended up getting frozen in the stone, was revived years and centuries into the future, and now all of a sudden here he's now a time detective because he's basically extremely old. Or here's a time traveling person that goes from here to here, and they're over 8,000 or so years old, but they're all the way back in Victorian times or something like that. Please, may Doctor Who forgive me, but it works if you plan it out right. But you just can't up and throw that in there and then have the character be that he's acting young or something. It doesn't work like that. Okay, yeah, so a 2,000-year-old guy that looks like he's 2,000 years old is acting like a 16-year-old. Now that shit don't work. And that, of course, also brings about the end of what you'd like to call screw you territory. So there is that too. But like I said, I would honestly have to sit down, really think about it, and take a lot of time and effort into it. This is something that would take, like, I want to say a couple years to probably do to get it right, because you'd want to make sure that it's going to meet the audience expectations. It's going to make sure it's going to hold their attention. So the audience retention has to be good. You have to make sure that it's going to flow with what you want it to do, like A, B, C, and D all have to come together. The setting isn't too out there. The plot isn't too stupid or convoluted. You're not going to end up having to, like, let's say, oh, this person, like, the villain's immortal, and then you have to figure out a way to not make them immortal anymore. So you have to kind of write yourself out of the corner of them being immortal. So, yeah, that's kind of what I mean by that. But, yeah, you'd have to really sit down and think about it. But that's what I'd have to do anyway. If you were given an opportunity to come up with a new cartoon/anime character on the spot, then would you be able to do that successfully? Probably not, no. If I had to come up with a new anime character or cartoon character on the spot, probably not, no. If you gave me like 5 minutes, I could give you a rough idea. Teenager, psychic powers he gets from trading cards that he collected over his youth, can summon the cards to reality, but unfortunately at the cost of, his memories or something like that. That would be the character. Throw him into whatever the hell you want. For a cartoon, I would go, I don't know, squirrel, hangs out with polar bears and pandas, or hangs out with a koala or something, and tries to explain the fundamentals of life to a species that sleeps most of the day away. So I don't really. Yeah, there you go. I'll be a character. If you want me to give you like designs, spiky hair, clothes, I don't really know where to go with that. So, yeah, the answer would be no. I wouldn't be able to on the spot. No, at least not successfully. On the spot, if you give me like 5 minutes, I can give you like a rough idea of characters, like gimmick. If you want to design, okay, they got for the trading card kid. It's like, okay, it's got a trading card box on his belt. Like belt's like on a downward slant. Denim shirt. Denim pants, like still jeans, like a denim jacket or denim jacket, bright color shirt underneath, spiky hair, got like a weird little wristwatch thingy, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I wouldn't, not successfully on the spot, no. What would your 10 new cartoon/anime characters be, and how would they be better than what we have to stomach through on TV? I couldn't come up with 10 new characters if I tried. I'd have to really sit down and think about it, but 10 new cartoon anime characters be, and how, yeah, I have no idea. How would they be better than what we have on TV now? I don't know. I can't answer a question that I honestly don't have a standard answer to. I can't say, they'll be better because of insert gimmick here, insert uniqueness here. I can't answer that because I honestly don't know. If I knew, I'd say, oh yeah, this, chuck in a little bit of this, and throw in a little bit of this. I got nothing, to be honest with you. I got absolutely nothing. I don't know. Let's see. I was, oh wow, I'm halfway through already. Wow. Well, this is going to be a short Q&A video this month. Like I said, if I missed any questions this month, please let me know. I didn't see any up when I checked before I started recording, but of course, it may not have shown up. I don't know, but I did check. There wasn't anything new, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. But if I did, like I said, I'm human. Please let me know. All right, next question. Oh, this is a good one. What would your ideas be for an anime show that you would be in charge of creating for Adult Swim? Oh, so are we going like an Adult Swim original series, or are we talking an anime that's getting licensed by Adult Swim to air? Because there's two different sides to this equation. If it's option A, you want me to come up with an Adult Swim original series, sort of like what Rick and Morty is, or B, you want me to come up with an anime series and basically make it be one that Adult Swim would want to take. But if I'd have to go with the former before the latter, I would go with if it's an Adult Swim original, stoner programming is what I always consider Adult Swim to be. So that'd be the perfect way to start off how this would be successful. Make it so that it's idiotic, but at the same time entertaining. Not stupid, but not stupid funny, but stupid right in the middle. Just that perfect middle ground where the plot itself makes no sense, but the characters, the settings, the background, all of that just sucks you in, but the plot's just like meh, but I like the characters because that'll keep them coming back, unfortunately. It'd be an anime show that you would be in charge of creating for Adult Swim. Yeah, so if it's for Adult Swim and I'm creating it specifically for Adult Swim, then I would be an Adult Swim original series. So that would be like Rick and Morty, I guess. If I had to go with something, I would probably go something, I guess, akin to maybe the Venture Brothers, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Go back to the old school Adult Swim programming where it wasn't that bad, but of course it wasn't the world's greatest, but it wasn't bad. I would go back to something like that, like a unique background and premise, the world building that Venture Brothers had, and the uniqueness that Aqua Teen Hunger Force brought to the party. I would kind of go back and chuck both of those together. So maybe something like that, but give it an anime feel. So probably I guess I would do like an adventure series, different dimensions, just dragging a little bit of the old school Rick and Morty, not before it went down the shithole and before it went down the primordial toilet. Definitely have the world building, because that's definitely what helps, because then you get more memorable characters. Like with the Venture Brothers, you had Colonel Gentleman, Action Man, countless members of Team Venture, the original old school Team Venture. You have Brock Sampson, the OSI, the Monarch, the Guild of Calamitous Intent. That created the world building. So I would want to do something like that, I guess, akin to it. So, I guess maybe, dimension traveling. I'll throw some cards in there or something just to give it a unique gimmick. Here, they chuck like a playing card at a wall, and it takes them to a different dimension. And that dimension could be like 2 dimensions different from Earth, or 5 dimensions different from Earth, depending on what the card is. If it's one of the face cards, it's it could be anything from it's extreme poverty to highly technically advanced, and go that route to try to figure it out. But at the same time, have it be like we're just here to observe whatever's going on, and try to help out in our own stupid way while pissing off and annoying everybody. So like I said, throw in the Aqua Teen Hunger Force areas, that'd be Master Shake and Meatwad in a way. Mixed in with some pretty badass action. You have like a character that's completely battle ready, like, okay, no matter what, I'm just gonna whoop somebody's ass. That would be like your Brock Sampson like character. So yeah, I would definitely throw like Venture Brothers, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and maybe some old school Rick and Morty. Just kind of combine all that together. Throw in, like I said, the gimmick of like, here's playing cards, you can chuck them at a wall, and it creates an instant portal that allows you to travel to a different dimension, and there you go, boom, and that would be it. So yeah, I don't really know what to call it. I could call it card hoppers, I guess. I don't know. It probably wouldn't do very well. It would probably tank. To be honest with you, it'd probably tank. But it would be worth at least trying. Again, I would probably suck at it, but it'd be worth trying at least. But there's that. So who knows? But yeah, like I said, I got nothing, I guess, for it. Let's see here. If you had a rocket, then would you go to outer space or somewhere else like an alternate universe? Well, if I have a rocket, it's either going to be space or bust. If you mean like an alternate universe where, okay, the rocket's like a portal or something and I can, you know, traverse like a portal with the rocket, yeah, I'd go with an alternate universe. But worst case scenario, I'm either looking at Astronaut Farmer or, well, I'm one of the many failed attempts to get into space. Because it's either a rocket up or nothing at all. I mean, the only way I can see that, no offense to the question, if the rocket's going to be traveling to an alternate universe, and I'd have to be breaking the speed of light, I would have to break a dimensional barrier. Because to travel to an alternate universe, you would have to essentially break the barrier between one dimension to another, because that would create the alternate universes in the other dimension. So, yeah, I mean, think of it this way. Imagine like a puddle of water, and you can always see your reflection in it, and your reflection can always see you. So the thing is, that's, sort of like what the gimmick would be. I'd have to break through the dimensional barrier that's created when one reflective surface sees another reflective surface. That's like the dimensional barrier, and you'd have to break through that with the rocket. So that means I'd have to go a tremendous amount of speed to shatter it, while at the same time not, busting apart myself. So, yeah, I probably try the alternate dimension, but worst case scenario, outer space. I mean, space has a lot to explore. I mean, we're only one small part of the cosmos. I mean, the grand universe in the scale is nothing. I mean, this flash drive right here, this is a small flash drive. This is like a 4 gig drive, but you know what I mean. This is one thing. This is the cap that I have on, because I don't have the cap for this one anymore. I lost it. This cap right here is small. This thing is minuscule. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't do much. And compared to the universe as a whole, I mean, compare this to this entire room. This is one small thing in a massive environment. And for us, we're one small marble in a massive expanse of the universe. I mean, there's other marbles out there. We probably don't know them, but there are other marbles out there. And we're one marble in a massive amount of marbles. Or we're just one small speck in the cosmos of a grandiose thing. So I would probably go with space, because you could see a lot more. There would be a huge amount to explore out in space. I mean, you could see other planets. I mean, you'd be talking like Star Trek-esque stuff here. But, yeah, definitely I would go with outer space, because you'd have a lot more to see. Like I said, we're just one small speck in the cosmos compared to the grandiose effect of it. And it's also going off of what we as humans perceive the cosmos and the universe to be, but still, we're one speck. I should tell you something. Okay, next one. How many books do you have in your house or used to have? I got a bunch of Shonen Jump magazines that I'm probably going to consider getting rid of soon, because I need the space and they're not exactly something that I read anymore, because I have most of the manga that is shown in there, or okay, I read it, it's fine, get rid of it now. I have at least one giant plastic container filled with manga. I have some manga in a box, because I can't fit them all in there. And I do actually know exactly where that box is in my room. It's a small shoebox. It has like 6 volumes of manga in it. There's another box that has some manga, that has some like one-off volumes that I got that I never bothered to get the whole series. I thought, I'll get the whole series one summer. Then the bookstore that I was going to spend a lot of my summer at decided they were going to close up at like the end of June that year, or end of July, and I was sad because I couldn't be in there for the last day. I missed that. I was a. I mean, well, okay, the mall where they were at's now gone anyway, but that was a good bookstore. I loved that bookstore. That was. Oh man, they were nice in there. They wouldn't even look at me the last time I was in there. So I wanted to get in there that last day that they were going to be open, but I couldn't make it because I ended up getting suckered into something, and it really pissed me off. But they couldn't even look at me the last day. I went in, I bought a manga volume. I just picked one. It's like I wanted one. I was looking around. I'm like, which one do I want? Which one do I want? And I picked one that I wanted, and I picked it up. I walked up to pay for it. They couldn't even look at me. They're like, we're never gonna see him again. It's like, yeah, you're probably not gonna ever see me again. And I was one of the regulars, and it really hurt them because like we're never gonna see him again. Because I would go in there like it was like every other Saturday almost, and it was go right in the door at the mall, turn right, and it's like 5 stores up from the entrance of the mall. And I loved it, like 5 or 6 stores up, and I knew exactly where to go. My mom would sit out in the car most of the time. It's like, okay, I know exactly where he is. He's going in. He's turning left. He went in, turned right, 5, 6 stores down. I know exactly where he is. I know exactly how he's going to come back out. I was like in and out. I mean, maybe I would walk down to the video store, which was like diagonal from the entrance anyway. So she knew of one of the 2 places I was going to be. And both of them, it's like she could easily find me. So it's like, it's not like I'm going to walk all the way down to the other end of the mall and do something stupid. But no, when I was in the bookstore for the last time, they couldn't look at me. They're like, we're never going to see him again. But yes, I have like a bunch of manga volumes at home. There's a lot of books that I guess my grandparents had collected over the years. A bunch of like kids books from when my cousins would come up when I was in high school and that. I have this big book that I got at Barnes & Noble. It's every Sherlock Holmes story by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I've actually read that thing cover to cover. I do love that. There are a couple marks in there because I had this little lantern. It was one of those solar lights that you could stick batteries into to have it run at night, just in case there wasn't any sun. And the coating on it left the little marks on the book as I was reading it the one night. I really wanted to, read some more of the story, and I couldn't sleep the one night. I'm like, oh, I'll pull out my Sherlock Holmes book, and I'm reading that a little bit, and I marked up a couple of the pages by accident, so I know it's mine. I know it's mine. But yeah, I have that. I got, like I said, a bunch of manga. So yeah, I can't even give you a number of the amount of books that I have. It's like I said, I have an entire. It is a gigantic plastic tub, literally filled with manga volumes. It's like I have all 20 Bakuman volumes. I have 12 of the 18 Icon volumes that were released in English. I got one of the Japanese ones, volume 18. So I have 13 of the 18, 12 in English, 1 in Japanese. I have the official guidebook. I have all 4 volumes of Legends. I have the 2-volume Dot Hack manga that kind of falls into line with the PS2 video game. I have all 3 volumes of Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight. I want to say 5 or 6 volumes of Pretty Face. I have manga out my ass. And then, like I said, I also have like one-off volumes. Like, okay, I really just wanted this volume. I don't want the whole set. This one particular one's what I want. Like, I have the final volume of Dragon Ball that was made. I have a couple volumes of Naruto. Now, granted, the Naruto ones I was getting for like $2 because the FYE that I went to had them for like $2 in their little "please God get rid of this book" section. Like, here, every time I went in there, it's like 50% off, 75% off. The one time it was buy one get 2 free, and I'm like, what the hell? And just say I took advantage of that. It's like buy one get 2 free, and it's like, oh look here, this one is $2. These 2 are free. Here's one that's $1. These 2 are free. And the sad part was, normally for like buy one get 2 free, it's the most expensive one you have to buy. That's the one you get free. No, they were literally just like, what, you buy one, you get 2 for free. So it's like, here's 1, you get 2 free. I did that. I think I got like 8 or 10 volumes of some just random manga that day, and it only cost me like $7. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, this is gonna work out. We'll finally be rid of that. They didn't want that section anymore. And it's like, just take it, get rid of it, please. We're begging you. We're on our hands and knees here. But I have like some one-off volumes for there, because that's how I caught up with Naruto, because Shonen Jump didn't give you the chapters from point A to point B here, because they took a break from publishing that particular manga, so you actually had to go out and buy the manga volumes to read up as to what the hell happened. So yeah, it kind of fell into, okay, that worked out. Now, of course, I gotta get rid of those. I do have all 7 volumes of Manyu Hikensho. I did get those on eBay, but those aren't up in my box. They're in a box in the living room right now, but they're not in my giant tub. But yeah, and I have all 15 volumes of Eyes. I love Eyes. It's one of my favorites. It's actually Legends is the first series that I ever completed, because there was only 4 volumes, but Eyes is the second that I ever really truly completed, because it was 15 volumes, and I just love the series. So yeah, there is that. But I couldn't even begin to tell you. I have books galore. There's like I said, there's like a whole bunch of like ones that my grandparents had that are up there. We have ones that my cousins were reading that my grandparents had bought specifically for my cousins to read when they came up. Of course, that didn't work out very well. I got comic books. I have my manga. There's books galore. So, yeah. What are you interested in nowadays other than making videos? Video games, trading cards, anime, other stuff. And I don't even really make that many videos, because that's one of the reasons why my channel is not that huge of a success, is that I don't do this every single day. I think if I did this every single day, besides the fact that I go crazy, I would definitely have... I don't think I would be any better off than I am now. I mean, yeah. But what am I interested in nowadays? Basically just anything. Right now I've been rewatching some Star Trek clips on YouTube. I've been rewatching some anime clips on YouTube. I got my trading cards. I got my, video games. Yeah, there's other things, but... Okay, well, last question. Holy crap. Hey, I'm over half an hour. Yay! I didn't think I'd hit that mark. Did you read any books as a little kid, like Berenstain Bears, etc.? Okay, I apologize if I mispronounced it, but I really don't care. Yes, I did read the Berenstain Bears, or at least I had them read to me a couple times. I didn't, because I was like 2nd grade. I read Captain Underpants when I was a kid. I loved that. That was one of my favorites. Oh, there's a lot. Crap. I mean, I read books as a kid because I had to. I used to read like some of the Goosebump books. In fact, we actually have my one favorite, Attack of the Mutant, buried somewhere in my room. It's probably destroyed by now anyway. But yeah, it's like Attack of the Mutant was one of my favorites. I've read... I want to think what the hell it was called. I can't think of it. But I read one weird little book series. It wasn't something that was popular, but I had to read it in school. But yeah, it was mostly like, because when I was in school, we had to go up to the library once a week. And the schools, I don't really want to diss reading here at this, but the school's vision for this was that if they force us to take books, that they're encouraging us to read. And the downside was they weren't encouraging us to read, they were encouraging us to not read. Because you're forcing it down our throats. We can only keep the books for like a maximum of 2 weeks. If you forget to bring the books back the first week, you have 2 weeks. After the second week, then they started charging you. So it's like you only can keep them for 2 weeks. It's 14 days. Now you tell me What elementary school kid, what honest elementary school kid is going to read a book series or a book, a like fucking chapter book in 2 weeks? You tell me that. They're expecting the elementary school kids like, oh, we want you to read every single day. We don't know, no TV, no games. Read. It literally for me went in one ear, right out the other. I could have given two craps about it. I remember they got like a art section in the library. There was like drawing books, how to draw books, and when I was in 4th grade, that was like the one section. But we always had to take a chapter book, and if you go up to the librarian, she was just miserable. Well, Kicker was the one that checked you out all the time. Wasn't even the librarian. She was just the aide to the librarian, but she was a miserable woman. And you go up there, and it's like, you don't have a chapter book. You must go back, take one of these back, go back and get a chapter book. You only have like a maximum of 4 books. And it's like, you must have a chapter book. So, of course, everybody would always go to the R.L. Stein, grab a Goosebump, because it's like, we're not going to read the damn thing. We have no intention of reading the damn thing. But it's like, no, you have to go back. You need a chapter book. And because I had this huge thing, because my aunt was a huge Winnie the Pooh fan. In fact, she still kind of is, but she liked Tigger. And there was a book in the little kids section, and it was a big book. It was a nice book. And there was a really good picture of Tigger in it, and I wanted to trace the picture. Now, I was going to do it very carefully so that I wouldn't leave an impression in the book or anything, and I doubt I was the only one to ever do that. And the librarian had a fit. This was, oh, sorry, I shouldn't really call her the librarian. She was the aide to the librarian. I should just call her what she was, the miserable old bat. But the miserable old bat had a royal fit about this and kept accusing me of not returning the book. She had me up to like $1.50 in fines. And then my mom finally came down and was like, we returned the damn book. I guarantee you it's on that shelf. And she goes, it was never returned. Oh, lo and behold, it was returned. It was sitting on her damn cart. She didn't even want to scan it back in. So I was getting overcharged. And I still had to pay the fine. And that's what pissed me off. I had to pay the fine yet. Because she screwed up. And just that. Because then there was always a cart that's like, here's the new stuff. So like, if the one book that we wanted to take out, and it's like, okay, we had like a settlement in like the 4th grade, I said, with the drawing books. There was one that they got, and they only had one copy of it. And the one day it's like, okay, who wants to check this one out today? You know, and this was an argument in our class, like between those of us that were always checking out one of the drawing books. And it's like, okay, who wants to check it out today? And one time I won the pool because we were literally rock paper scissoring for it, and I had won, and it wasn't on the shelf. Here it's on her cart, but it was already scanned in. You go anywhere near that cart, then she got pissed. I was like, I need to put these back on the shelves. You get away from these carts. You'll find something else. So then after that, it's like, you know what? The teacher was even like, you know what? I really don't feel comfortable bringing them up here anymore. They're not reading the books. The kicker was, okay, we go to the library. You get 4 books. We come back to the classroom. For like an hour, we had to sit there reading the books. Or, reading or learning from the books. Like, and they wanted to complain that we weren't doing enough educational stuff in the school. Yet we have to spend an hour reading from these chapter books that we're being forced to go up to the library to borrow. Yeah, that was fun. Honestly, for me, I would safely say this. I mean, I would not force anyone to do this, but yeah, I did read, like the Berenstein Bears, I did read those. Captain Underpants, because we always had this, it was like a Scholastic book thing that you could order books out of, and it's like, okay, once a month, okay, here's the next Scholastic order thing. They hand out the little pamphlets to all the kids in the class, and it's like, okay, if you guys want to order anything, the due date's on there. Make sure you talk to your parents, get the money. My mom would give me the Captain Underpants books because I liked the Captain Underpants books, and I would read those. Oh, God. That when the one came, the substitute, had to be the day the substitute's there. And the substitute was she was an older woman, and I swear, like, in her late, like, right at the cusp of being able to retire. And I was like, I think I want to say sixth grade or fifth grade, fifth, fifth or sixth grade, one of those two. And this old woman was in. She was the substitute for the day, and of course the books had to come in. That's the freaking day that the books come in. And the one janitor was nice enough and brought it up to the classroom floor because, of course, she's hobbling around with a cane. She can't walk very well, and she's trivialing out the books because they actually had down on there must be given out today because the teacher wasn't going to be back the next day anyway. But she was only a 1-day sub. Because we were getting the sub that we had the other day the next day. She couldn't make it that day. We were kind of upset about that because she was actually a really good sub. We couldn't have her that day. We were getting her the next day. So the old woman, she gives out the books, and she gets to me, and it's like, well, this isn't a book. This is a comic. I'm like, there's words in it. It's a book. A book is with chapters and no pictures. Because she didn't want to give me the book, and she realized that she had to because my mom worked my mom worked as a cafeteria aide at the school, so it's like lunchtime. I could just go down and say, "Yeah, books came today. Teacher wouldn't give me mine. You have to get it from her because she's gonna send it up to the office so I can pick up at the end of the day." And I don't think my mom would have went with that, so she knew it. Because they kind of pointed out because my mom was a thorn in the district's side when I was in elementary school in a good way. She was a thorn in their side. So it's like she handed me the book. She didn't want any trouble. She handed me the book. And it's not like she would have gotten any. My mom would have just said, "Okay, just give me the book," and just been done with it. But she just gave me this dirty look the whole day. It's like, that is not a book. That is not a book. I mean, she was angered at the fact that we were having recess. She's like, we're having indoor recess today. I can't get up and down those stairs. And it's like, okay, fine. Because the rest of the classes are outside in the bright sunshine, the fresh air. We're stuck inside. And after that, because I remember then, I don't remember if it was fifth or sixth. I think it had to have been sixth grade because my fifth grade teacher hated me, so it had to have been sixth grade. I remember the teacher's like, "So what'd you guys think of the substitutes that you had?" It's like, oh, because she handed us like this little card because I think there were complaints, and I don't think it was from our class because we had like rotating classes like for certain subjects. Like I'd have to go over to this other teacher for science and another teacher for social studies, and then back to my homeroom then. And I think it was one of the other classes that complained, and what it was okay, so here's the deal. The kids don't like her. Don't bring this one back anymore. This one's fine. This one the kids love. Don't bring this one back anymore. And I just remember because it's like the books came, she wouldn't give them to me. And then she finally realized, okay, because everybody has it. I'm sitting there, and she goes, "You're at least going to read something." I think to myself, why? It's like, they were purchased for me. But yeah, so like I said, I've read Captain Underpants. I have read the Berenstain Bears, however you want to pronounce it. I've read them. But yeah, as a kid, Goosebumps, stuff like that. But yeah, when I was a kid, like I said, didn't really like reading much. I still don't technically today. I mean, I'll read manga, that's fine. I'll read webtoons, that's fine. It's just, I never got into the whole, here, I'm going to sit down and read this like massive chapter book, unless it's something that I really, really got into, like the Sherlock Holmes stories or something. But otherwise, it's like, I really don't sit down and read that much. I'm more of I'll watch it, I'll do the Cliff Notes, but yeah, I'm not into the whole reading thing, but yeah. But that's the last and final question that I had. Like I said, unless I missed some, in which case I'll add them to the next one. I'll put up an announcement, though, when the next one will be, because like I said, I don't know if I want to do one yet for August, because I didn't do one for February. And I figured I should kind of probably do that again, or I could save it for the end of the year. I don't know yet. You have to let me think about that, and I'll let everybody know. But otherwise, thank you all again for submitting your questions. I know a lot of you aren't happy that I'm ending the Q&A's not ending. That I'm ending Andrew Rants, the Rant series, but I have to. You know why. I'm not going to get into it here. But thank you all, like I said, for hanging out with me for 40, almost an hour. Damn. All right. I am impressed even myself. 10 questions, and I still managed to ramble enough to make it almost an hour. Thank you all, though, for hanging out with me, for being here, for subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. And I will, if I had the ability, I would just, like, edit in a bell here and then chuck it. But I'm not that good. I wish I was, but I'm not that good. But yeah, thank you all, though, for tuning in, and I will catch you all next time. Don't forget to check out the podcast. I put a new one up every week. In fact, this coming week's going to be a very special podcast. It actually is. I'm actually planning something special for this week's episode of the podcast. It's going to be a little special. Just a little bit. But anyway, I will catch you all next time here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Don't forget, check out Andrew Discusses, Andrew Rants, podcasts. Reviews are still up yet. But yeah, check that out. Check out my channel. If you could like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye, everybody. Have a good one, and take care.